my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to Harping on Rugby, where with the help of some fellow fans, I get the chance to harp on what's going on with Leinster, Ireland, and the wider rugby world. Well, this week we've reunited the duo of contributors who wrapped the Leinster v Lyons match a couple of weeks ago. First up is someone earning his 62nd cap. Welcome back to Mr. Tom Coleman.
Thanks for having me again, Jeff. Evening to you, Rich, as well.
Good to have you. And also joining us is someone making appearance number 40. Hello once more to Mr. Rich Mifsud.
40 already. Well, good evening, gentlemen.
And so now this brings us to our final thoughts, starting with Tom.
Yeah, I think, without the cause repeat myself, disappointing night. We didn't quite get rid of the scars of Paris in 23 against New Zealand. Better team won in the night. I think Andy Farrell will be looking for a bit of a bounce back after we look back to the first test in South Africa, how he, questioned the guys' manhood about getting physically beaten up, and they responded in kind. So I'd really hope on Friday against Argentina, who had a very good win against Italy, stuck 50 points on them, that Ireland have a good week in training and really bounce back and really need now to put a performance in against Argentina. So there's that little bit of pressure on them. And Argentina are a pretty good team. They've had 3 wins to bet all 3 teams down, the other teams in the rugby championship. So they, it definitely won't be easy, and they'll feel Ireland are slightly vulnerable and maybe questioning themselves. But I think we've covered a lot of the match itself on where it went wrong and what we need to fix. Hopefully the guys that badly needed minutes, like Kelleher, Bealham, Henderson, and on. This will stand to them. And Peter O'Mahony came on for, I know it was only the last 10 minutes, I think, as well. He only had half an hour, or he had only had a half against when Munster played the All Black select team down in Cork. So that'll all help get minutes in the bodies. But yeah, no complaints with the result. Just a frustrating night. Where we didn't really fire a shot in attack against an All Blacks team that are in a little bit of transition. They're not as much in transition as people think. You know what I mean? If you fast forward to the next World Cup, a lot of these players will be playing. It's not like they're trying out a whole load of new players. Yeah, they're probably trying out at halfback, at 9, I should say, a little bit. But this is the New Zealand team that's going to be thereabouts for the next 3 to 4 years. And they have some issues, and always looking at New Zealand when they came to Dublin over the years and years, no matter how bad or good we were, it's slightly frustrating when New Zealand don't have to play great and they still win. I don't mean that. That's not an insult. That's a compliment if you can win when you're not really playing that well. So it felt a little bit like that. We limited them to a certain degree in attack. We spoke about the players that on their side that didn't really get on the ball as much as they'd hope. And just on the back of that, and given their scrum halves a bit of a hard time, just not to build on that platform, and a lot of unfair stars, as we mentioned through the game with Bundy and stuff like that, etc. Not singling out Bundy, but just he was one of many, and frustrating night. But look, they've got to hopefully to get it out of their system during the week and be ready for Argentina on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a time when if we'd held the All Blacks to just 1 try against us, and we knew that we'd made a few mistakes and could have won it, that would be a positive kind of thing, because we probably figured it would be frustrating, but we figured that we couldn't do better. We wouldn't think that, but at least this time we know that we can play better. We can do better than that. We do have a level up we can go. We've seen ourselves do it. It's just a question of, like you say, regrouping and showing that against the Pumas next week. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, just picking up on that point. When you're frustrated because you haven't beaten the All Blacks, then you're in a good place. 5, 6, 7 years ago, it's exactly what you described. You just hoped that they wouldn't put 60 on you, because that's where we were and they were. So anyway, that taking that or putting that point across. I suppose the only other saving grace is that they're all fixable. All the issues that we had on Friday night are fixable. They were unforced errors, discipline, and I think it was 13 pens, I think, and pretty much the same along unforced errors. Our tactics were clunky. There was a lack of cohesion. And I'm talking about attack here. Defense, we stood up, and I think we did pretty well. And the other one, it was attitudinal. There was only 3 players really in my mind who actually stood up and were counted, and that's no guesses for no prizes for guessing who they were. That's Jamison, Ports, and Josh. The remainder well below par. And just to pick up on a point that Tom made, our attack was clunky. If this is a bedding in of the Andy Goodman system, perhaps. I just got the sense it was as clunky as Leinster have been over the last couple of years. Not transitioning well. We look far more fluid now, as in momentarily wearing my blue cap in attack, but Ireland seem to have, at least in this first match, and it's wrong to judge them or judge him and his influence on the team in just this one match where people didn't really turn up properly. So let's see how we progress throughout the autumn internationals. I expect a reaction. Andy Farrell is not the kind of coach who will not expect a reaction and will not enforce a reaction. And indeed, there are very many good professionals in that team who will, no doubt, for their own personal pride, turn up next Friday. So I expect a far better performance from us. And it's good that we're playing Argentina, because they will certainly test us, and it's not we're not playing, with all due respect to them, we're not playing in Japan, where we can just paper over the creases and what have you. So it'll be a good test. It'll be a tough test, but I think it's what we need to take this huge thorn out of our side from Friday night. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Like someone said on Facebook, we definitely have credit in the bank, and we definitely they've earned the right to be given the opportunity. And it's good that we have a quality team like the Pumas coming in as well in our very next game, exactly 7 days later, same venue. It might be very much a similar team. Injuries aside, it might be very, very similar 23, and they'll get a chance to show what they can do and improve the standard. So hopefully they'll get that chance then. Well, that's brilliant, lads. Many thanks again to Tom and Rich for joining me. Hope to have you both on again soon. Thanks, lads.
Thanks, Jeff.
Cheers, Rich. Cheers, Jeff.